I have gone behind the scenes of some of the scariest, funniest, most thrilling, and moving moments from cinema with the biggest names in the movies. These are my best 10 unforgettable moments in movies of the last 20 years. At number 10. The Upside Down Kiss, Spider-Man, 2002. Director Sam Raimi says, "In the rain, while he was doing the scene, I remember, he was slightly drowning because he couldn't wipe his nose and the water was falling down into his upside-down nose, into his nostrils. So he was kinda drowning, and the only way he could breathe was through his mouth. It doesn't look unpleasurable, but I think it must have been." At number 9. The Joker, The Dark Knight, 2008. Makeup artist John Caglian Jr. says, "Heath Ledger was great in the chair. Special actors like Heath, and my experience with Al Pacino over the years, these actors help you relax so that you can bring your game. I always got the feeling that Heath had already worked it out in his head, from what I remember. He knew where he was going. Early on, in first meeting Heath and playing around with the makeup, he already kind of had it all figured out." At number 8. Remember Me. Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015. Director George Miller says, "It's a moment, by the way, I think, is available only to her. I don't think any other character could have done it. I remember the line. I remember Charlize on that day said that she wanted to say the line. It wasn't a written line. She said, 'Look, I feel like I really want to say it. Okay by you?' I said, 'Great.' It just hit a sweet spot in amongst that action, and it was a little pause before the brutality of the moment and the continuation of the action that was to come." At number 7. The Snap, Avengers, Infinity War, 2018. Co-director Joe Russo says, "Anth and I, through our entire experience at Marvel, always tried to make very disruptive choices with each film. At the end of Winter Soldier, good guys and the bad guys, we flip everything on its head. In Civil War, we divorce the Avengers. With Infinity War we knew we wanted to make a strong narrative choice. There's an adage where you write yourself into a corner and you try to figure out how to get out." At number 6. Crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Selma, 2014. Representative John Lewis says, "I truly believe that Oprah, Ava, and the staff working on the film sought my involvement because they knew my history. Selma represented an attempt to redeem the soul of America, to help us move closer to the participation of all people in the political process. This film can educate and inform the mind of hundreds and thousands of young people around America and around the world." At number 5. Cars Don't Fly. Furious 7, 2015. Actor Vin Diesel says, "And it was that moment where we realized that Fast and Furious didn't need to be restricted in any way. That we were so thorough about story and character, and it's so much a tale of brotherhood and family, right, that we were allowed these kinds of outrageous and fantasy-filled moments, and flying through the air was playing to that. Flying from building to building was playing to that. It was one of those solutions to the riddle, or answers to the riddle, how do we one-up the spectacle of each film?" At number 4. Carl and Ellie in the Opening Up, 2009. Director Pete Docter says, "There's one moment in that montage where Ellie has to go to the doctor, and it's implied that they can't have children for whatever reason. That raised some eyebrows even here at work as we were developing the film. So, we did an experiment by taking it out. And we thought, well, maybe the sequence could still work without it because there's some really charming stuff. But the strange thing was, not only did we not feel the emotion as strongly in that one little sequence, but as we watched the rest of the film, the whole film lost a little bit." At number 3. Avengers Assemble in New York, Marvel's The Avengers, 2012. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige says, "The moment I realized that this could be an iconic moment, not just for the MCU, but for these kinds of films, was on the mix stage. When the effects were final, and when Alan Silvestri's amazing score was coming in, and the timing, and the experience of watching the whole movie up to that point, that's when I got chills, and I realized Joss had pulled it off." At number 2. The chest waxing scene, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, 2005. Writer-director Judd Apatow says, "I basically set up 4 cameras and we had some basic beats we wanted to hit. We knew that we had to get Steve's real reactions, so we shot it like a documentary. We wrote out tons of curses because we did plan the main joke to be that he would just curse right into her face. And we also made lists of words that weren't real curses, that sounded like curses. That's how we got to Steve screaming Kelly Clarkson. At number 1. Gollum talks to Smeagol, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, 2002. Actor Andy Serkis says, "I'd never considered myself a voice actor, just a regular actor, and I had to kind of think my way into it. I started to work on this notion that he's called Gollum because of the way he sounds and what would make his voice sound like that. I started to think about constriction of the throat, and as I was doing that, I was actually fortunate enough to witness my cat throwing up a furball. It suddenly gave me this idea that the whole physicality of the role would be determined by this force within, which is kind of built out of guilt and torment."
Hey there folks, thank you for staying and watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for more exciting videos to come. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.